How in the hell is everybody doing? We are back with another installment of the Around the Ropes podcast right here on the ATR Network. I'm John. As always, I am joined by the beefy boy himself, the sexy boy himself. Hold on. I got one more to add. Some would even consider him a co-host. You know him, you love him. It's Ryan. Ryan, what's going on?
Oh, I am so excited for this, man. By the way, I want to kick it off. How about that for a freaking intro, huh? At least you know that intro will get copyrighted. That's for sure.
Oh yes.
And also, by the way, folks, tonight's just want to throw it out there. Also, tonight's show is sponsored by Twix, where at 7-Eleven you can get it for $1.79. Now, what a weekend wrestling it has been.
But Ryan, obviously, you and I started a show this past weekend at WrestleBash. We'll get to that in a second. But I have a question to ask you, and I have a question to ask all of our fans.
Where's my coffee?
Asshole. Do you think there used to be more of us?
Whatever do you mean?
Yeah.
Making his return.
I'm back, baby. Yes, sir.
Oh, guys. Costa, how does it feel to be back, buddy?
Hey, man, I'm feeling absolutely stupendous right now. Thank you for asking, man. It's great to be back.
Costa, you should feel better than the Toronto Maple Leafs trying to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, trust me, I feel much better than they do. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, guys, it's gonna be that type of show tonight. What do you want me to say? Well, if you're watching the Around the Ropes podcast, if you're gonna want to watch Etiquette or listen to nonsense, go watch NPR or go listen to NPR, go listen to other podcasts because believe me, they exist.
Yeah, and there are podcasts out there that have, and we're definitely one of them, but we definitely have more than $1.50 in our bank account, so we don't have to worry about any other financial problems here. So. We're good.
We're off to a roaring start.
Yeah.
But yes, Ryan and I and Carl as well. Can't forget about our bull.
Yeah.
We're at WrestleBash this past weekend.
Yep.
And I'll say this much as somebody who this was my first event as a vendor. I was blown away. I was blown away by the fact that our little show that got started 8 months ago was in the same room as Kevin Nash, X-Pac, Booker T, Earl Hebner, Bushwhacker Luke, who else? Bob Culture Podcast. I have to add them into the list. The Voice of Destiny, Vicky Guerrero, Men of the Year. And we were in the same room as them.
And also made some new fans out of them as well.
Yes. And some of those people you may actually be seeing on the show and the upcoming weeks and months ahead. You're going to want to stay tuned to all of our social medias for all of that information.
We could be seeing a walking weapon on here. We could potentially be seeing someone who, shall we say, did something phenomenal 20 years ago in the Royal Rumble, just saying.
Yes. Ooh. Guys, I will definitely say this much. We may have not sold a photo, despite the fact Cheyenne did sign one of yours.
He signed a lot of people's, though, which I thought was funny as hell.
But we did network.
Yep.
Or let me rephrase that.
Cheyenne did a great fucking job.
Oh, he did. Let me rephrase that. Ryan and Carl did a lot of the networking.
Yeah.
And I say that I don't want to put myself in there because, folks, if you were to see this in action, they were running around. At one point, I saw Carl literally go right past me, and he turned around to me and goes, "Oh yeah, just look at this person. I gotta go talk to this person right now."
Yeah.
And Ryan, you as well. I mean, you also knew half the room there. Let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah, Ryan knows that. Ryan knows everyone, so it's.
I knew about 3/4 of everybody there.
Yeah. Because also people would come up to.
And one of them couldn't keep her hands off of me. Just saying.
Okay.
A lot of them would look at Ryan and go, "Oh my God, Ryan, I haven't seen you since Wrestle Pro or Create a Pro or
Pretty
whatnot."
much.
Whatever pro, yeah.
Actually, one of them, not the name drop here, but I thought I'd name drop because, Costa's back. How about your fellow Canadian, Mr. Ethan Page?
Ooh, that's my guy right there. That's my guy.
Yeah,
Shout out
right
to
it is.
Ethan Page. I love his wrestling style. Love it.
And you got to meet Scorpio Sky at the same time. Very nice guy.
Oh wow, yeah. That's great. That's great.
So from my perspective, definitely want to say a huge thank you to everyone at Wrestle Bash that accommodated everyone, setting up the tables and everyone. They did phenomenal on their first try.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Cheyenne did a phenomenal job as the MC. I'm saying that straight up. I don't give a shit if I get backlash or whatnot. I'm being straightforward as it is. Cheyenne deserves to be the official host of Wrestle Bash because he kept everyone in the loop. Even before fans were coming in, he was keeping all of us in the loop. And when doors were opening, every half hour, 15 minutes, and then even going around. So Cheyenne, I just want to flat out say you are fucking amazing. I'm being straightforward. I really am.
Yes, he was really good. Everybody there, even David and his whole crew, I thought did a fantastic job. The only thing I will say though is part of me was fanboying out a little bit when I would see, and I laugh at that now, but I remember watching a lot of these guys on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like holy crap, Kevin Nash is right down the aisle from us.
Yeah, that is
Booker T, the five-time was literally around the corner from us.
He was really awesome to talk to, by the way.
Yeah. But I mean the whole experience, Ryan, let me throw it over to you as this was your first signee.
Oh, where do I begin?
Yeah, even if it means burying the person who brought you in, go right ahead.
Okay, so getting there was definitely no problem. When I got to the building, at first they had air conditioning, thank God. But then I see Carl and John show up, and they both had Duncan. I jokingly said, "Where's mine?" Because they are the vendors. I'm the guest, and the vendor's supposed to take care of the guests when they ever do signings. Well, basically, John forgot my coffee, and then all of a sudden decided to put the blame on Carl on that one. So then, later on, right before doors open, he had his laptop with them, and again, as a vendor, they're supposed to be doing it themselves. So I had to go through hoop after hoop after hoop after hoop to get the Wi-Fi password and the username until I came back and I got it. And he's like, "Oh, I'm on Optum. It's fine now."
Wow.
I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
Oh yeah, I flubbed up a few times, but it's not going to be the first, and it's not going to be the last.
In all seriousness, now this was all that was just a big, in all seriousness, that was just me being, just busting his ball, really busting it. I really appreciate the Around the Rose podcast. One of the best podcasts out there. Just saying. And also for those and also us that we don't look at our phones while we're on the air.
Well, I'm taking care of show stuff right now, so.
No, that's not what I was going with.
I know what you meant.
But again, thank you guys for bringing me in. It was like you said, even though we didn't sign an 8x10s. Honestly, it was fun because it brought more eyes on us.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I want to. That was kind of my big thing. Was I knew walking in there we were going to be against a battle.
Some mementos. That was fun.
It was more of the memories and the moments.
Exactly.
I mean, the fact that I was able to give friend of the show Brett Azar his tumbler and his shirt. I mean, I saw the look in his face because you have to remember it's his image.
Yeah. It's his. That deserves emphasis. Okay, emphasis. That is Brett Azar's image that is on our shirt.
Yeah,
it belongs to no one else other than us and Brett Azar. Okay.
And
You showed me some of his artwork, and holy shit, he's phenomenal.
and the funny part, we met his lovely wife, who she looked at the Tumblr and was like blown away by it.
And what's even funnier is that for those that know me, I'm a big beefy boy, but I felt like a midget standing next to Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, and also you forgot to mention, like who else was there? We had Melina, we had Victoria. Last minute they pulled in, ooh, Chavo.
Yeah.
All of them are very nice guys.
Oh, and speaking of Brett, going back to you, John.
Uh-oh.
You made Carl go back to Dunkin' and get Brett his coffee.
Is this coffee thing going to now live over me now forever?
Yeah, it is.
Damn right it is.
Yeah, it is.
Worse than the popcorn? If you know, you know.
Worse than
But overall, the experience was awesome. Just being there. Granted, it was hot as hell when there was a lot of people in there, which I will say, normally they don't have that many people in that big of a room, but apparently they decided to, give the basketball courts to the Saturday basketball league. They could have played on any other Saturday of the year, but they decided to play on that day. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I love it. It is what it is. It was a fun event. But let's go to what happened Saturday night. Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, the mecca of indie pro wrestling, as some people have coined that term.
Oh my lord, the mecca's turned into a freaking shambles right now.
Yeah, we went to a wrestling show there. Now, folks, spoiler alert: they actually had a bottom rope.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Well, not uh-oh, but that's good.
Again, if you know, you know.
Exactly.
And we saw the debut of Colossal Championship Wrestling, also known as CCW. Now, you're probably asking yourself, how did we find out about this said promotion? Well, it just so happens that their ring announcer is Mr. Ryan Peterson. Right there. Oh, right there.
Yeah, right there.
And
Ryan Peterson.
And I convinced Mr. Roberts and Mr. John to come and check it out, meet the promoter, just check it out. First they were like, this guy over here was like, oh, I don't know, it's gonna be a long day.
Right, certain things don't have to go over the airwaves.
I bet you're not saying that now, considering what we know now. But anyway.
Yes. Oh, actually, Costa, thank you for bringing that up. Because, folks, at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, and then if you're in other time zones, you have to figure it out on your own because I'm not good at math. We have a major announcement.
It's huge.
I'm not saying that because 2 out of 3 of the people on this screen right now are large, but no. This all I'm going to say about this news. I know, Ryan. I know I'm number 1. All I'm going to say about this news.
You're number 2 because you forgot my coffee.
All I'm going to say about this news is going to be propelling us into a direction none of us thought the show would ever be going into, especially this early.
Exactly.
Oh, yes. So, folks, you definitely want to tune in and find out what that news is all about. And, by the way, it's only the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. If you think this is big news, there's a lot of things in the pipeline that we can't announce yet.
God damn, I was going to say that, Costa.
Yeah.
I was thinking pipeline.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about
Wait
that.
till we get to 9 o'clock, guys.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
But let's get into, because, I'll say this right now, Ryan, as somebody who saw the event on Saturday, overall, for a first-time event, for first time show for a new promotion, crowd was very into it. The ring announcer did a decent job.
I'm sorry, the ring announcer what?
Did a fantastic job. He was the best ring announcer. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
Bar none. Ryan Peterson is the best announcer, bar none.
Costa, move on, Costa. But I honestly, my two favorite matches from that night were the main event.
Oh my God!
Especially with the Tower of Doom spot. I've always seen them on TV, never seen one live in person. And the only thing I will say is this: I think was Madman on the top turnbuckle for that one. I'm surprised his foot didn't reach the top of the ceiling when they were doing that spot. To see that spot live, wow, that's all I'm going to say. The other part that I thought, I would say would be my second favorite match is the women's title match.
Yes.
Between Ashley.
It was. I'll say the names because that was part of my job.
Yes.
Ashley Demboise.
Yes.
The timepiece against Roxy from Puerto Rico. And actually, I hate to change gears a little bit, but we do have some breaking. So I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. So we have some breaking news here in regards to WWE. Apparently, there's been rumors going around that the WWE draft was coming back.
Yeah.
It was originally supposed to take place after Clash of the Castle in early September. But word now is that plans may have changed and the draft may be pushed back several months.
Oh.
A new report from Fightful Select notes that the draft happening after Clash of the Castle is no longer a slam dunk, as several Raw superstars booked for the September 9th SmackDown from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle have been unbooked from that show.
Oh, shoot.
It was previously reported that Raw superstars were booked for that SmackDown in Seattle, while Blue Brand superstars were planned for Raw episodes on the 5th from the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City and on the 12th from the Moda Center in Portland. This new report does not mention an update to SmackDown superstars being booked for Kansas City and Portland. Okay. It was noted in this new report how many WWE talents were told that the draft was likely taking place that week after the Castle event and continuing into the following week like we've seen before. But if that is still the plan, then a significant number of crossover talents are not involved. USA Network sources have reportedly told talents that the draft is not happening in the immediate future and have outright stated that after WrestleMania 38, well, obviously it's 39 because whoever wrote this does not know numbers. After WrestleMania 39 in April 2023 is a likelier landing spot for that big event.
Oh, wow. That far, eh? Wow.
WWE did not officially announce the draft, and they have not provided any confirmation on the dates. Furthermore, talents have not been given a heads up about anything happening in the coming weeks.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
So right now, oh, I'm sorry. We also have another breaking news. Don't play the graphic. We're already in the spin already. So, actually, you know what? We'll save this for when we talk about Raw.
Okay.
When we talk about Raw, let's go back to Saturday night for a little bit.
Yes. The women's title match.
Ashley Demboise against Roxy from Puerto Rico.
I will say this much: between Ashley and her manager, who have met, I thought they both.
Yep.
They both played it perfectly, and I said it to Carl actually right after that match was over. I smell a rematch.
Big time.
Very much, I smell a rematch. So, folks, if you happen to be in the Rochelle Park area, Ryan, the next show is October. I should know this. I'm going to be there.
October 29th in Richfield Park, New Jersey, Halloween weekend.
And would you like to say who the main event is going to be?
Yes. So, in that said main event, it was to crown the inaugural CCW Heavyweight Champion. Which, by the way, John, you saw the title belt firsthand. Isn't that a beautiful belt?
Yes, it is. It's weird. I thought,
She looked like
yeah, that to me, that a title like that is going to be something that you're going to want to fight for.
oh, absolutely.
And when folks, you hear from Ryan who is in the main event of the Halloween show, mind you, this is only their second show they've done.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So on that night, Madman Fulton won the title, and he is our inaugural champion.
Right.
The owner, Mr. Robert Singh, came out because also Madman Fulton was also accompanied to the ring by Mr. Ruda, who also manages Miss D'Amboise. After trying to play some sneaky shenanigans and whatnot, Fulton won. Thanks to Ruda. He comes out and he says, you already have your first challenger lined up, and it's not going to be a man. It's going to be a monster.
Oh.
On October 29th, Madman Fulton will put his CCW title on the line against the debuting PCO.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, for you fans out there that are listening, if you have younger fans, kids and whatnot, again, it's a Halloween weekend, and I was told by the promoter himself that if anybody comes with if any kids come with like in their costumes and whatnot, they will get a very nice candy goodie bag.
Oh,
Look,
Yeah.
a little early trick or treat gift from CCW.
Yeah.
yes, folks, I will say this much.
You don't qualify.
Well, what am I going to address as a podcast host? I usually do that 9 times out of 10 anyway.
I know, but you don't qualify for the candy.
I mean,
There's a bigger candy store that down the block called 7-Eleven that you can buy candy there that's more than $1.50. I know I was in that store a couple of times on Saturday.
I wonder why. John, the point is to slim down, not to get bigger. Anyway.
Jeez.
You make me choke on my rice, dude.
Well, Costa, for your information, I only got food once. Every time I went back, it will come to the drink.
John was my hero that day. He got me fucking water for that. Oh my god. You were my hero.
Yeah, it was also on sale.
That would be the only time that John has been called the hero in his 27
Oh,
years.
dude.
Really, Costa? But yeah. But all I'm gonna say is this, guys. I give Robert, I give his whole team a ton of credit for what they did. And then, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they also start a new one in Puerto Rico? Because didn't they crown a champion for their Puerto Rican promotion?
Nope. No, what they did was they crowned a blackjack champion.
Gotcha. But yeah, guys.
There is plans of a Puerto Rico promotion in conjunction with WWE legend Savio Vega coming in, I believe next May.
Before I forget, I also want to send our regards to Savio Vega.
I think he's in the hospital, right?
Yeah, I heard through social media he's in the hospital right now.
Yeah.
Supposedly, from what I heard, he is okay. He should be out probably sometime this week.
Yeah, I think
So
so.
again, want to send our regards to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's keep it moving now because we actually do have some wrestling to talk about.
Yeah.
We can sit here and talk about the craziness of the weekend, but no, folks, we have a lot of other stuff to get to.
Should we quickly talk about SmackDown?
Yeah, go ahead. SmackDown. Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
no, go ahead. I was going to say SmackDown. We can start off there.
Okay. So on that night, there was a quarterfinal match in the women's tag team title tournament.
Yeah.
Originally, it was going to be Zoe Stark and Nikita Lyons versus Natalia and Sonya Deville.
Right.
However, due to Zoe Stark unfortunately getting injured from her match against Mandy Rose from Heatwave. And also, reports coming out, the real reason why Nikita Lyons couldn't go. They had to call an audible like 2 days prior. So they pulled in. Oh shit! I keep forgetting it. Lacey Lane, I think it was Lacey Lane and Gigi Dolan, Toxic Attraction. JC Lane, sorry. But they won, and then over the weekend, Gigi is injured.
Yeah, wow. I'm so sad about that. I love Gigi.
Now they're doing a freaking like second chance four-way. I'm like, God, I feel like the titles are cursed.
Yeah,
I think so too, man.
I've always said I think it'd be better if they just get. I said it on this show a couple of times. I think it's better they just get rid of the titles at this point. Because and I'm being completely honest with you, what have those titles done?
Nothing.
Except for when Bayley and Sasha held those titles when they first brought it back, and when Toxic Attraction held those titles for the short amount of time they did. Other than that, all this title has done is, okay, Tag Team A has won it. They have it for a week, and all of a sudden it's, well, I don't like you, so I'm gonna turn heel on you, and I'm gonna throw out the title in the garbage, or we're gonna walk out of the company.
Exactly. Oh, well, hold on, you're confusing the NXT women's tag titles.
Well, they got rid of both of them. That's what I'm saying. They combined them.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Who's in the women? Wait, hold on. Didn't Cora Jade? Wait a second. No. Didn't Carter? Not fuck. Catanzaro.
Yeah.
And They won. Okay. And then I was confusing myself, which was not that tough. I'm talking more in the sense of the main roster tag titles.
Yeah.
To me, they have done nothing.
Toxic Attraction never had the main roster tag titles. They had the NXT tag titles.
Yeah. I personally think the main roster tag titles for the women's division has done nothing for nobody.
The NXT versions are so much better.
Yeah, they are actually. Yeah.
They are better, but again, you look at I'm looking at the main roster ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than what Bayley and Sasha did, can you name me another team that had a decent run with them?
Nope.
Rhea and Nikki.
I guess so. Yeah.
You could say that, but then, like, I know some people would say the Iconics when they won it at WrestleMania 35.
Yeah.
I was there for that one, and that pop was insane.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny that they won it because they were a legit tag team.
I know.
Then it seems like you take Bayley and Sasha, you take the Iconics out of the equation. Now, who do you have? That's had a not even say legendary, who's had somewhat decent run with that title, that all of a sudden person A didn't turn on person B as quick as people change underwear?
No. Not really. I can't really think. Yeah, other than those two, I can't really think of.
I can't really either.
Because realistically, there's two titles I would get rid of on the main roster.
Okay.
2 sets of titles. I would get rid of the 24/7 title.
Yeah. I think that's in the works too.
I think so. Yeah.
I would get rid of the women's tag team belts.
And you know what title they need to bring back? The hardcore title. They need to bring
honestly, Costs, I disagree. I think WWE right now has enough titles.
Mm-hmm.
All you're gonna do is by adding more titles is you're gonna oversaturate it and make it that. Well, why should I go for this title when I can go for that title? But then this title is only so important because you have this title over here. I mean, look at it this way. On Monday Night Raw, we have the tag titles.
Yeah.
We have the U.S. title.
Yeah.
We have the women's tag title, wherever they end up going. You have the WWE Championship. That's 4 right there.
Yeah.
On SmackDown, you have the IC title, the tag titles, the Universal title, and I guess you can say the women. So you have 8, you have 7. Okay,
and you forgot the U.S. Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have all those titles.
Yeah, on Raw.
It's the same issue that I think AEW is going to run into eventually, because AEW has all the Ring of Honor titles.
Not to mention they're bringing their own version of the trios titles.
To me, the one promotion I give a lot of credit for the amount of titles they have is the NWA.
Yes.
They have the they have the World Heavyweight Championship, they have the women's title and the tag title. And I think don't they also have like their version, like the US title or something?
I think it's a television title.
Yeah, but that's it though.
Yeah.
And I understand the comments, but but John, the NWA roster is not as big as, yes, but you don't need to have 1,000 belts.
Yeah.
In a company.
That's true.
You don't have to turn around and it's like, okay, well, it's a new week. Well, here's a new belt.
Yeah, but again, like for AEW, like per se, like let's take AEW for instance. A trio belt for AEW, it kind of makes sense because there are a lot of wrestlers that you can like put into a 3-person tag team.
Oh yeah, understandable.
And I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
Yeah,
but then you don't have to have the trio titles, the tag titles, the Atlantic title, especially, and I get the Atlantic title, for example.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
Hawk is defend that in other companies. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But if you also look at the design of the belt, it's called the All Atlantic title, and it has the I guess you can call them the flags on the title.
Mm-hmm.
Have nothing to do with the Atlantic.
No,
that's true. That's also true. Yes.
But I will say though, I like the fact that Pac is going to. They're sending Pac to different promotions to elevate that title and the name AEW.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I'm not taking that away. I just think, to me, when you look at like the women's titles, that's where this whole conversation started. If I was Hunter and I was creative, I'd get rid of that title already. Because again, I've said this before. Tell me what that title has done.
Nothing. But exactly nothing. But now that Triple H is in charge, he could make changes to make that title mean something. Those titles mean something again.
Okay, but Casa, I understand that. But what they also have to do is, if they want to,
I know they have to condense it. I know
they have to, especially with the women's division, for example.
Yeah.
You don't have that many wrestlers in your women's division between both Raw and SmackDown.
I know. Unless you call up people from NXT, but anyway. Yeah.
Well, we got some news about NXT, which we'll get to in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also on SmackDown, they had a fatal 5-way number 1 contendership match.
Oh, that was a great match. That was incredible.
For the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had Ricochet, Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin, Sami Zayn, and the new number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship, Sheamus.
Actually, right, not to go for a second, but did you hear the stat about Corbin?
Yeah, he's winless and he's been winless in 17 of his matches.
But you know what his last pin was?
A good one.
His last pin was the last time Roman's ever been pinned.
Roman?
TLC 2019.
Yeah.
Roman has not been pinned till TLC 2019 from Happy Corbin.
Wow.
I don't know if he was sad, happy, depressed. I don't know what Corbin he was at that point. When I saw that set today, I was blown away.
But that match was phenomenal. I actually watched it, I believe Sunday. I finally called up to SmackDown, and that match that blew me away.
It was incredible, man. Incredible.
And now it's confirmed for Clash of the Castle. It is Sheamus against Gunther.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign me up, for real. That's going to be a friggin' banger of a match.
Yeah. Here's a funny fact about the IC title. This will be the first time since WrestleMania 37 Mind you, that was 2020. That was last year. It's the first time since night 2, I believe it was, that the IC title has been featured on a pay-per-view / live premium event.
Wow. 1 year.
So the fact it's taken almost a year and a half for that to be featured on there, come on.
Well, I think, I mean, we can go back to belts here. I think what they have to do is, I would love for them to bring back the white IC title.
Yeah, I love that. That's the best belt. I love that.
I'll put it out there right now. I don't own any titles at all. The only belt I own right now is currently keeping my pants up as we speak. So, yeah. If I ever got the chance to own a belt, there would be one belt I would own.
Yeah.
And it's not the Universal title or the 24/7 title.
No,
it's the white IC title.
Me too.
That is like, if I ever were to get that,
I have two actually. One of them is the IC title, and then the other one is the United States title.
Oh,
not the new one that they have.
The John Cena.
No, not the spinner one. The one that was worn by AJ Styles.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say his name, and I don't get heat. Chris Benoit, MVP, Matt Hardy, from the old school SmackDown era.
Yeah, the house that AJ Styles built era, is that the one?
More like the SmackDown 6 era.
Okay, got you.
Wow. Okay. Oof.
All right,
that's going back.
Yeah, you said AJ Styles. That's why I said that. Yeah.
He wore that same design too. I'm just saying, like, that's when it first started in the SmackDown 6 era.
Yeah.
We do have some indie news.
Huh? What?
Kurt Angle wore that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Ryan. We do have some indie news to mention quickly.
Sure.
You know, the company ISPW.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing their King of the ISPW tournament on Friday, September 23rd.
Yep.
5 minutes ago, they announced who the next person is going to be.
Oh.
First of all, let me read you the bracket so far, who they've announced.
Okay.
Danny Morrison, LSG, Bull James, and Sean Donovan have already been announced.
Wow.
The newest one added to the list, and we saw him at Bree combination, taking on Anthony Gangone in the opening match. Rick Recon.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Was added to that. So that just broke about 5 minutes ago via the ISPW.
Isn't that the same guy that got clotheslined by Don LaGreca?
Yes. Yeah. But as far as with SmackDown, I mean, the one thing I will say, I thought both. One thing I will say though, regarding both SmackDown and Raw, the viewerships are going up.
Hell yeah! They've been incredible.
The viewership is both going up.
Yeah.
I was telling this. Forgot I was telling this earlier today. The rating for Raw,
2 million.
More.
2.3.
Oh, 2.3.
Which, when we look at Monday Night Raw, and with the numbers Raw has pulled in, they haven't seen over 2 in, God, probably the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to be a homer here, but that crowd last night was,
oh my God,
it was fire.
Well, let's get into that right now because I want to get into that before we get to the top of the hour here.
Okay.
And big thing I want to get to with Raw.
Yeah.
Because I actually have a plan out in my head how tonight's going to go. Was the return of Mr. Gargano himself.
I was surprised of that.
Well, here's the funny part of why I bring that up. It was not on any rundown sheet that he was going to be there. It was not Sean Ross Sapp, Meltzer, Wade Keller, Mike Johnson. Nobody knew that he was going to be there. Mm-hmm. From what I read in the article from Brightful, people on the production staff didn't even know he was going to be there until he was in gorilla position. They look, they go, "Oh shit, you're back."
may I say something? Because I've heard this brought up in the past. So give me a minute, just 1 minute to say something.
Yeah, go right ahead.
For the individuals who think that, I'm going to say this, Canadian crowds are full of marks, which I've heard the comment made in the past. In a previous lifetime, we were all in, if you guys get my drift. But why would Gargano announce his return in Toronto? You know why? I'll tell you why. Because Toronto has some of the best crowds and is a wrestling area that everybody respects. Everybody that knows about wrestling respects.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah. And he also made the point that was the same builder where him and Tommaso defeated
The Revival.
Exactly. Yes.
And an amazing 2 out of 3 falls match.
Uh-huh.
It was incredible.
Which in my opinion is, I don't care if this gets me, heat or whatnot. That match right there was probably not only the best tag match of 2018, but I think in my opinion one of the best tag matches of the 2010s.
Oh, I totally agree.
I agree with you, Mr. Peterson. I agree with you.
I think you also have to look at, though, was also the fact that we saw Austin Theory.
Oh.
And then I love how the crowd started chanting, "Who's your daddy?"
Yep.
I love how they were playing off the whole thing of them being in
them trying to, reunite after all these years.
Yeah.
Except here's the funny part. Because I saw this theory posted on social media.
Okay.
Austin Theory currently holds the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a lot of times when Austin Theory goes to cash in, he's always getting blocked by somebody.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden we're seeing Dexter Lumis come back.
Oh, hell yeah.
Coming back.
Yep.
Could we possibly see them help Austin or Theory? Because we can't call him Austin Theory anymore. Because apparently wrestlers now and the WWE can only have one name because WWE thinks that their fans are morons.
No.
Or they are, I would say this, they are lacking tag teams in Raw.
Yeah.
Wasn't Gargano part of a tag team?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And his former partner, I hate to say it, he ain't doing shit right now except being Mrs. Bitch.
Oh, come on. Ciampa's the best. Anyway.
Oh, he's fed.
I'm saying he's great, but the way they're booking him, it's like he's Mrs. Bitch.
Yeah, and maybe that's why Mr. Mr. Blondie there, I forgot his name right now, but Mr. Blondie there took him away.
Well, here's the thing I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Could they also be doing that because of the fact that not a lot of people if we look at WWE 6 months ago when Vinnie Mac was still running the company.
Yep.
As we can tell, a lot of people didn't watch NXT.
Yeah, I stopped watching it actually. Yeah, when they
would they be doing? And I understand, Ryan, what you're saying, but could they be booking Ciampa this way to kind of introduce him to the Raw roster?
Possibly.
Yeah,
and then possibly at Clash at the Castle, or not Clash at the Castle, probably Extreme Rules in October. All of a sudden, we see him break off from Miz.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Maybe even Survivor Series in Boston.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think if we had a tag team I would be behind going after the Usos for the undisputed tag titles, it's DIY.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. Just thinking about it, it's like, oh.
I know.
Banger on that.
And one of the reasons why I said the whole thing with Ciampa bringing up from Miz in Survivor Series in Boston, because that's where Ciampa was originally from.
Yes.
Yep.
But last night's Raw, in my opinion, I think it keeps getting better. I mean, listen to some of the matches they had on last night for those that didn't watch or did watch but completely forget about it.
Yeah.
We had Finn Balor versus Dolph Ziggler.
Banger of a match.
You had Chad Gable doing an Alpha Academy Open Challenge. Oh, thank you. Against Kevin Owens, and that was a banger.
KO.
Bring up KO. It seems that they reverted him back to NXT KO.
Yeah, I kind of figured that when they used this old Tron on the screen.
With the duct tape shirt.
Yep.
That when I saw that, I said, "Oh, they're going there." Because what I see, what Hunter and company are trying to do.
Yeah,
they're trying not to reinvent the wheel. In their opinion, the NXT Owens worked. Why not just use the main roster?
Exactly. You don't have to change anything that's not broken. Kevin Owens' character was never broken. You don't have to change it.
And the main event last night.
Oh, hell yeah. That Canadian Destroyer by Edge was a friggin' incredible.
We got a comment coming in from Facebook.
Which actually, speaking of Edge,
yeah.
Some news came out after the cameras went off last. No, not yet.
No, you didn't
not miss the big announcement yet. The big announcement will be happening in about 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes, yeah.
Folks, if you're tuning in now, Ryan, I'll cut you off for a second. If you're tuning in for the announcement, no, folks, you did not miss it. We're going to finish up what we're talking about right now. We're going to then send it over to Mr. Peterson for the sports update. Then when we're done with that, then it's going to be announcement time.
Yep.
And folks, like we said at the top of the show, this announcement, I know we're not being Tony Khan here about saying, we just signed so-and-so. No, folks, when we said it on social media earlier today that this announcement is massive, we are not bullshitting you guys here.
Nope.
That's what I want to stress. This announcement is going to be huge.
Yep.
But going back to Edge's Canadian Destroyer list.
No, let Ryan finish his point. Let it.
Go right ahead.
First of all, that blew my fucking mind. I'm like,
has he ever done that?
No, I don't think he's ever done that. No. And to do that at this age,
executed.
Yeah, to do that at this age was freaking incredible, man. That was freaking crazy.
And also, from the looks of it, it looked like they were setting up something for possibly Clash of the Castle, another mixed tag match.
Beth.
Nope. I did read. I did read the plan.
What?
Plan is Judgment Day versus Edge versus Beth Phoenix versus Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio.
Oh God.
So that is the plan right now for Clash of the Castle. And here's the fucked up part about that. Do you realize we know that month before we know half the matches for all out, and all out is in like a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is in a week. You're right. Holy shit.
And folks, we'll get into AEW in the second hour of the show.
But speaking of Edge, I do want to bring something up that happened last night when the cameras went off.
Oh, shit.
So following Raw, Edge grabbed the microphone and he spoke to his people in Toronto. He talked about his comeback after being out for so many years. He talked about what he's done since his return, the pandemic, and then he thanked the fans. He also talked about his pre-WWE days, and he knew he would be here wrestling in front of his hometown fans. Before wrapping up, he talked about having I cannot believe I'm going to say this, his retirement match next year in Toronto. Now, usually WWE does a show in Toronto every August, so if he does retire next year, then that would be the appropriate time frame. During his A&E documentary, which by the way, you can go back and watch it. What? I'm talking here!
They announced the match for Worlds Collide.
You couldn't wait until I'm done with this?
This is big.
It can wait! It can wait! I'm in the middle of a story here!
Okay. Go ahead.
Wait, John. And I can act like this too, because you didn't get me coffee.
Okay, go ahead.
His A&E documentary, which by the way, you can go back and watch it because it's fucking phenomenal.
Yep.
Edge talked about wanting to go out on his own terms. He also expressed that he's interested in one more match with John Cena. So perhaps that might be in the cards for him within the next year or so, for his final match. And already in my and this is not part of the story, or already in my mind, I'm thinking if they want to pull something off this big, why not have? Why not do SummerSlam again in Toronto?
Yes.
But have it at the Sky Dome.
Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Try to recreate the Ultimate Warrior Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 6 vibe.
Yeah.
With John Cena and the hometown boy Edge. Now, Mr. John, what could you possibly have that could probably overpower Edge's potential retirement match next year?
It's not true. I got bamboozled. Move on.
Oh my God. May I add something to your spiel about Edge?
Sure.
When he retires, I swear, and I'm not trying to be overly dramatic here, but when he does decide to retire, I think that is ultimately the only time I'm gonna cry. I'm definitely gonna cry when he announces his retirement.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I cried during Undertaker's Hall of Fame speech.
So did I. Tears were rolling down my eyes.
And also, by the way, speaking of which, I saw earlier today on September 2nd in Wales, The Undertaker is doing his one-person talk event, whatever he's doing, in Wales.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Really? That should be interesting. That should definitely be interesting.
John looks like he's thinking about something.
I know.
Interesting here.
What?
Bruce Pritchard apparently turned around. Now, folks, you know Bruce Pritchard used to do a lot of writing for NXT.
Yep.
Bruce Pritchard turned around and said, and I'm reading a quote here.
Yep.
I never wrote one NXT show in the history of my existence. I'm a fan of NXT. I love NXT.
Huh?
Okay. I never wrote.
Either Bruce Pritchard is smoking some crack up in Stanford, or he's a bigger moron than I thought he was. His fingerprints were all over NXT when he was running it.
Who, Bruce?
Huh?
Who, Bruce or Triple H?
Bruce.
Oh, please.
Bruce. I mean, come on.
Maybe they have the title of showrunner, but maybe they just shove it off to the writers, or maybe they did shove it off to the writers and let them do whatever they want with it. You never know.
Also, the newest person to join NXT, Charlie Dempsey.
Ooh.
Why does that sound familiar?
Oh, yeah, he's the son of WWE legend William Regal.
The son?
Oh.
You said the son, right?
Yeah, because, folks, we'll get into this, and then we'll wrap up this segment right here, because it was announced the Sunday after Clash of the Castle, I think it is.
Yeah.
I have to get my dates in order here, because
The same day is all out. The same day is all out.
Worlds Collide will happen, and this will be considered the last event in the existence of NXT UK.
Wow.
Because after that, they are actually going to merge NXT UK and NXT together.
To make NXT Europe. Yes.
No. I'm not talking. No, NXT Europe is to be something different.
Oh, okay.
NXT UK, and so essentially, NXT UK is done, and NXT 2.0 is done.
Really? Okay.
If you notice, last week we started on NXT that closed out Heatwave Tyler Bate, which, by the way, I have to get into a little bit of a rant here right now.
Oh my God.
Oh,
WWE,
relax.
listen to the words coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Whatever crack you guys are smoking from whatever's left over from Vince McMahon, it's expired.
It's that hush money crack.
Because you close out Heatwave, you have your NXT UK champion come out, Tyler Bate, holding the title, but people don't know how he won the title, because if you don't follow NXT UK, you didn't know that Ilya Dragunov, whatever his name is,
Dragunov,
Ivan Drago. had to relinquish the NXT UK title. They had a tournament to go that went on.
Yeah.
And then also you haven't even aired the finals yet of the NXT UK tournament.
Oh damn! I didn't even know that.
And you're gonna show out your fucking champion? Like, oh yeah, guys, here's your NXT UK champion. Mind you, we never even aired how he fucking won the title. Get your head out of your asses. And that was my rant for today.
It's okay, John. It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know. Food, Ryan, what do you always say?
Goose.
So is that what you want in your coffee when I finally get it for you?
Anyway.
I just have one other question to ask you, Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want me to spend more than $1.50 on your coffee?
Isn't that how much it usually is anyway?
I was to say, would you like a cheese sandwich with it?
A what?
A cheese sandwich?
That's still more than $1.50, my friend.
I hear Swiss cheese is good.
I love grilled cheese. Just to put that out there.
It might be kind of rough because there be holes in it.
Moving on.
Our producer must be falling on the fucking floor right now.
Yeah.
You only get holes in your cheese in places like let's see here.
Midwest. Now, let's move on now.
Yeah.
We want to get this segment wrapped up because we're about to do the sports update and then our announcement.
All right.
So yeah, Ryan, anything else you want to add to this before we wrap this up for tonight? Not wrap this up for tonight, but wrap up this segment before we have your sports update.
Actually, yes. Since you mentioned, like Clash of the Castle, HBO, we're probably talking about this, later on. Hey, what? No, we'll talk this in the second half.
All right,
guys. You're gonna want to stay tuned. I just want to make sure one quick thing here before I move on here. Ryan, just plug the network and all that stuff for a second.
Okay. Well, you guys can definitely check. Again, if you guys haven't done so yet, first of all, what is wrong with you? Second of all, make sure to follow us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, our Twitter. Don't say anything, John. And also, more importantly, hit a subscribe button here on our YouTube channel.
I do have some interesting news about the YouTube. We're at 8 subscribers.
Okay.
So you need 100 for that URL.
So come on, guys. We're on the road to 100. We need 92 more subscriptions.
Please help us.
We'll pay you in pennies.
Yeah.
But after the news that we have coming up in the second half of our show, trust me, you're gonna want to subscribe and follow all of our pages and join us in our journey.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. And in this journey, it will cost you more than $30.
God.
But guys, here's the way we're going to play this out right now. We're going to throw it over right now to Mr. Peterson, who will give you guys a sports update and talk about the guy who at last night's Yankee game is making waves for what he did with a hot dog.
Yeah.
So Ryan will tell you guys all about that. He'll also let you guys know what's going on in the Subway Series right now as Mets are playing the Yankees right now.
Yep.
And then you will see me come back, not Costa and Ryan, because I have been bestowed upon to make the announcement.
Yep.
And then I have a little spiel at the end because, I'm Jewish or whatnot.
All right.
And then we will react to said announcement because, folks, like I said before, I can't say this enough. This announcement, all I'm going to say is this. If you've been a fan of any of us and you've been there through all the ups and downs, you are going to have the biggest grin on your face when I make the announcement.
Yeah.
Oh, shouldn't we be playing the Oscar music to wrap this up? I'm
doing it for you. Come on.
But now, let me send it over to the man, the myth, the legend. You see, I'm buttering you up here there, buddy.
I know you are.
The guy who I look at as one of the best co-hosts.
Yep, definitely.
Out there. Somebody who has been a godsend since he's been on the show, because he's actually helped out behind the scenes. And he has become not only a great co-host, great partner of the show, but he's just become a great friend. Folks, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Wrong way.
No, you're on the right way.
Mr. Ryan Peterson.
That is me.
Yes. I'm glad you can tell which is you.
So am I getting a full screen or no?
No, you are.
Oh, I am. Okay. Ah, there we go. There you can see my ugly mug. So, this is the ATR network.
Get a new attire.
Shut up. Shut up, John. Hey, at least I use my own Wi-Fi. Just saying. Anyway, so this is the ATR Around the Ropes sports update. Because once again on the ATR network, we talk more than just wrestling. We do all sports all around. So there really hasn't been much going on in the world of the NHL, except for any fans that are in the New England area, where the NHL announced today that limited tickets to the 2023 Discover NHL Winter Classic, which, by the way, takes place in the beginning of the year on January the 2nd, 2023, between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Boston Bruins at Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox. They will go on sale to the public on Wednesday, which is tomorrow. And it will be televised on TNT, Sportsnet, and TVA Sports. They go on sale at 10 a.m. for Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the NHL. And they are available on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. Now, and this game marks the 5th time that Bruins will play in an NHL regular season outdoor game, as well as the 2nd time the NHL has played a regular season game at Fenway Park, dating all the way back to 2010 between the Bruins and the Flyers. The game will mark the 6th regular season outdoor contest for the Penguins, who most recently lost to the Flyers in overtime back in 2019 at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. And also, the 2023 edition marks the 15-year anniversary of the first ever NHL Classic in Buffalo. So definitely, if you're in the Boston area, definitely go check it out. I've been to an outdoor hockey game. I think it wasn't the Winter Classic, but it was Islanders and Rangers at Yankee Stadium. My first time at Yankee Stadium. I got my theories on that one, but overall it was a fun experience. I enjoyed myself, and I froze my ass off, but totally worth it. Now, in other sports, the NBA, the biggest news that's been going on in the NBA was the whole melodrama, Young and the Restless style soap opera known as the Brooklyn Nets versus Kevin Durant. Now, for those that don't know, for those that have been living under a rock, especially if you're a massive NBA fan like some people on this network, you'll come to know that the Nets had a conundrum when it came to their top player, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant pretty much said either you trade me or get rid of your coaches. Basically acting like a whiny little baby. I'm sorry. I'm being straightforward. I'm not really a fan of the NBA, and that type of reason right there is one of the reasons why I will never support the NBA. And also the fact you have someone like LeBron James who signed a 2-year, almost $100 million fucking deal to take a basketball and shoot it through a hoop. Big whoop. So, but apparently, getting back to Kevin Durant, apparently the Nets now say that Kevin Durant and the team have one collective goal in mind of bringing an NBA title to Brooklyn. So it looks like the sappy sad story of the Nets and the Kevin Durant turn into one big happily ever after. And that's it. And that's it on that side because honestly, I can care less about the NBA. Now we go on to one of my favorite sports, the NFL. And this week is the final preseason week before the regular season kicks in. And based off what I'm seeing here, we have some pretty good games coming up to end the preseason. So, also by the way, last night, I don't know how the hell they pulled it off. The Jets beat the Falcons. I don't know how they pulled it off, but that's because I'm a Jets fan and I'm kind of surprised. So, Thursday night, the Thursday night game for the final week of the preseason, we have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. That's going to be a good one, actually. We got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Houston Texans. The Buffalo... and that's on Thursday night as well. On Friday night, you have the Buffalo Bills versus the Carolina Panthers. The Seattle Seahawks against the Dallas Cowboys. The LA Chargers against the New Orleans Saints. And the New England Patriots against the Raiders. Now on Saturday, you have the Jaguars against the Falcons. The Rams against the Bengals. The Commanders against the Ravens. The Eagles against the Dolphins. The Cardinals against the Titans. Holy crap, there's a lot of Saturday games. The Bears against the Browns. The Bucks against the Colts. And finally, to end it on Saturday night, the Vikings against the Broncos. And then on Sunday, you have two games on Sunday. You have the Lions against the Steelers. And the Battle of the Meadowlands themselves. They always do it every preseason. The Jets versus the Giants. That's what's going on. And I believe the regular season starts in 2 weeks, around 9/11 weekend. So definitely check that out. And then in the other sport, baseball. Yeah. So we already had one game earlier today. And it was a battle of rivals that's been going on for years, and I mean like almost a century actually. And that is the battle, the loving battle between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs, which by the way the Cubs won 2-0. Now currently playing right now, the Braves are beating the Pirates 6-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Right now the Mets and Yankees are tied going into the bottom of the 6th now. The Phillies are beating the Reds 4-3 in the bottom of the 6th. The Orioles are beating the White Sox 3-2 in the bottom of the 6th. The Giants are beating the Tigers 3-1 in the bottom of the 7th. The Rays are beating the Angels in the bottom of the 7th. The Blue Jays are defeating the Red Sox 3-1 in the top of the 3rd. And, I'm sorry, I read this wrong. The Cubs and the Cardinals had a doubleheader today, so this is Game 2 right now. The Cardinals are beating the Cubs in Game 2 in the top 3-0 in the top of the 4th. Royals and Diamondbacks are tied at 0 going into the top of the 4th. Also in the top of the 4th, you have the Houston Astros against the Minnesota Twins, 1-0. The Rockies and the Rangers are tied going at 3 going into the bottom of the 2nd. Starting in a little bit, we got 2 games starting in about half hour or so. As the Marlins travel to Oakland and take on the Athletics, and the Guardians travel west to San Diego and take on the Padres. And then around 10 o'clock ish, you got the Nationals against the Mariners, and then you have the Brewers against the Dodgers. And I'm trying to see if there's anything else going on. There's one other sport I know I'm missing. Oh yeah, MMA. So let me, because again, we also talk about combat sports as well. Let's see. Also, speaking of UFC, what a freaking shock that was on Saturday night in the main event. I mean, I'm still blown away that Edwards defeated Usman in the 5th round by TKO. Literally, with like less than a minute left in the 5th round, Edwards literally like, wow, I'm blown away. I'm sorry, I'm blown away. Fight of the night, in my opinion. But now apparently we move on to our next event. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, the UFC's next event is on September 3rd, I believe. Yep, September 3rd in Paris, France, as they present UFC Fight Night. Let's see the matches that they have in store. And by the way, this is taking place on September 3rd. Why does it have to be that weekend? Why? Man, they just want to throw everything. Everyone wants to throw their marbles into that weekend. Good God Almighty! So, in the prelims, you have Ramos taking on Henry. Imavov versus Buckley. France's own Saint Denis against Miranda from Brazil. And also in women's featherweight action, you have Farron. Farron. I'm trying to say with a French accent, not working. Again, also a native of France against Perez of Argentina. And then on the main card, you have Jourdain taking on Wood. Also France's own Lapillus. I apologize if I fuck up the last names. Against Taha. Holy crap, they can't pick people with easier names to say. You have Makdesi from Canada taking on Hak Palast. Dicharico from Mexico against Kopilov. You have Whitaker taking on Vettori, and in the main event, you have France's own. I feel like this is just a French showcase at this point. Gain versus Tuivasa in a heavyweight battle. Holy shit. And the last thing on this sports edition of the ATR Sports Update, we have Now you know what? That will be on the other line. Because I thought it was about something else, but nope, that's about wrestling, and we're gonna talk about that in the second half. But folks, that was the ATR Sports Update here, exclusively on the Around the Ropes podcast, where you can get your wrestling, MMA, kickboxing, all your sports updates, and also, again, we won't charge you $1.50. So, now I'm going to turn things over to the guy that literally just coughed right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I like to bring it over right now, full screen, I apologize, to basically the man that is quintessentially the face of this podcast. The individual who literally brought this show up to the ground 8 months ago and has a lot to say right now. So, without further ado, it is my honor and privilege to swing things over to Mr. John Blaine. John, take it away.
Thank you. And Ryan, I appreciate what you said. It means a lot. And guys, if you guys have been a part of the show in any way, shape, or form in the last 8 months, I appreciate everybody who's been a part of this show. And I know the show has been through a lot of ups, it's been through a lot of downs. And there was at points where I didn't know if the show was going to continue. And then talking to some people, thinking this through in my head, I'm like, you know what? I think it's time that we continue this show. And like I said, folks, we've been through a lot of crap. There's been a lot of drama. There's been a lot of backstage stuff that you guys don't even know about. But I'm here tonight to announce that we would like to welcome to the ATR Network family. Oh, yeah, it's the shirt I'm wearing. Colossal Championship Wrestling as our new partners on this network. And look, I mean, we're in the shirt right now, the shirt's making its debut. But I want to thank Rob big time for wanting to work with us. And yes, he also owns New Evolution Wrestling as well. But guys, when I told you guys in the first half that this is massive, you guys are probably sitting there going, why is this big news? Why is John making such a big deal about this? Unfortunately, that I can't disclose at this current time. But if you stay locked into our socials, either on the Around the Ropes podcast page or the ATR network, you'll know why. Folks, I'm I've been doing this stuff now for 11 years, and doing between podcasting and radio. I mean, if you guys know who listened to me long enough now, know my backstory. If you don't, basically the quick backstory is I've been wanting to be in radio since I was 8 years old. This has been a lifelong dream of mine. This has been a dream that I didn't think was ever going to be attainable. And through a lot of hard work and a lot of ups and downs, I've made it work. Yeah, but I have, I've dealt with the cards that have been dealt to me. But August 2011, I set foot in Nassau Community College. And that was my first exposure to radio. And since then, I haven't stopped. I have done several podcasts. A lot of them have fallen. I have been a part of a lot of different groups. A lot of them fail to exist anymore or are not what they used to be. But I've gotten through it. This show right now has been probably the biggest positive part of my life. And it's only been around for 8 months. And the crew that I have, I know they may pick on me. They call, I may forget some of their coffees. But the one thing I know is we all have each other's backs. We all have each other's backs because in the long run, we want this show to be successful. And to people who have doubted us, to people who think, oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about. They're frauds. They're scam artists. They scam people out of money. They don't know what they're talking about. Continue to hate us. All you're doing is you're adding fuel to the fire. To the people who have supported us, and you know exactly who you are, I am forever grateful for the support. From people that I've known for the last 6 years, to people who I become friendly with through doing shows, I thank you. To Ryan, to Costa, I know Carl's listening right now. I couldn't have asked for a better crew. All I know is this announcement, guys, puts us on a much different pedestal. Like I said before, continue. If you found us to be annoying, continue to think that way. It doesn't affect any of us. But know one thing, and David, if you're watching this, I'm stealing your term here because I thought this term was perfect. ATR never dies. Andrew, I appreciate that sentiment. It means a lot to me. But guys, like I said, again, if you're just joining us, the big news is our newest partners of this network is CCW, Colossal Championship Wrestling, and New Evolution Wrestling, both run by Rob Saint. Again, guys, none of this could have been done without any of you guys on here. So I don't want to hog up the entire screen here, but let me bring back on the other. Let me bring back on the other two guys. So there you go. There's the announcement.
And actually, I'd like to add on to the comments of those that doubt us. Mostly doubt you and Carl.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that you guys.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that.
Those haters don't realize that they got someone who's involved in wrestling, who knows the right people, who knows how to, shall I say, make an impact in the wrestling world. And especially when, I believe in 2 days from now, on Thursday, would mark 10 years of this individual doing what he's doing in wrestling in general.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to add one other part to it. Costa, this is at you. And this is not mean. This is not, hold on. This is not mean, okay? But Costa, you're still muted. So, forgot to unmute you there, buddy.
I got you, don't worry.
I said about Ryan, I said about Carl, but you specifically, you have been there from day one when this show first got started. And you have been there through everything. You have been there through all the ups and all the downs.
Yeah.
And guys, I said this before. We are not in this position right now without the work of any of us. Folks, at some point down the road, we'll do a tell-all podcast.
Yeah, we should, yeah.
But all I'm going to say is right now, like I said before, you may doubt us. You may think we don't know what we're talking about. But you also have to remember one thing. I have a creative mindset. And with the amount of times I have been told no by people, it just fuels me. Because what I want this experience, the last 8 months, is I want somebody out there who's watching it, who may be afraid about starting their own podcast, who may be afraid of going on camera and talking about whatever they love to talk about.
Yeah.
Take somebody like me, for example. How many times I was told over the years, you don't have what it takes, you're not good, sports isn't your thing. And look at where we're standing right now.
John, I'm going to tell you what I've been saying to myself for years, even before I started getting into wrestling. Fuck the haters. Only think about yourself.
And you know what, guys? Could add a little bit more spice to this Caliente. Never mind. I fucked up. But guys, we're going to add a little bit more Rogaine to the situation. Because I have a question for you, Mr. Peterson and Mr. Costa.
Well, it's funny because I actually had a question for you guys too, actually.
Is the same question I have?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is bothering me. This is really bothering me because tonight we saw the return of Costa. But John, you said it earlier tonight. Didn't there used to be more of us?
Yeah, wasn't he that annoying bald-headed guy who we used to call Mr. Clean?
You mean me?
Hey, Mr. Robert!
Holy shit!
Also, too, there's a bigger announcement with me. Everybody see me with a beard. Guess what? Not anymore.
The band is back together.
Yes, we're all back together, guys. We're all back together.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And as John and Ryan and Casa have been saying, this is only the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Just stay tuned.
Yeah. But
Definitely stay tuned through to next week because we have some major announcements going to be dropping soon.
Mm-hmm.
More major announcements, even more major than this one tonight.
Yes. Casa, between you and I, what announcements we are going to be making is bigger than you and I returning tonight.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
okay, now
You don't want to miss it.
Carl, let me ask you this: how does it feel after being on the sideline for the last couple of weeks to finally be back? And
You mean back doing what I love doing, being with you guys? And I'm going to pull the curtain back on this one, John. Not just sitting in the producer's chair and not saying anything.
I don't know. I get it. Trust me.
As Ryan said this past Saturday, him and I did a lot of networking. And a lot of people actually knew of our podcast, which was the shocking part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
a lot of legends that knew of our podcast.
That's what's scary, folks. If you guys have watched us from the beginning and know who we've had on the show, Brett Azar, Barry Horowitz, Mark Henry, Jeff Jarrett. That's only
Larry
Zabisco. And I'm not even talking about the independent guys we've had on. Your Joe Ocasios, Scarecrows, Mike Magno.
You're also forgetting another name. Lenny Poffo.
Yes.
Nikita Koloff.
Yeah,
Camille.
exactly. Camille.
The NWA champion. She was there on Saturday and remembered us.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But folks, if you think those names are impressive, until you see what we have in the pipeline.
And I just gotta add one more bit to my little spiel. This is more for me and Mr. Clean.
Okay.
We were once considered elite.
I'm sorry, what was that, John?
We were once considered elite.
I found the elite, and that's us four.
Hold on. And we know how that ended. We were a part of a network that goes by 3 little letters. And we know how that ended. But folks, I'm saying this right now. And I'm going to say this right now. People are starting to take notice of who we are.
Yep.
And all I'm going to say is a lot of other people will follow suit.
And
John, I was told one reason why a lot of them follow us or know of us. Because we show respect to the talent.
Exactly.
We don't ask the same questions over and over and over that they always get.
actually, Carl, could I add on to that statement? Not to boast, but you heard it firsthand. When Carl and I were networking to some of these people, some of them, I'm gonna be straightforward and pull back a little bit. I'm not gonna say who, but some of them actually said they really don't do interviews.
Yep.
But when they found out that I was a part of it, especially one that very, very rarely does interviews, individual will definitely be on. And he found out again because of me.
Not only that, we spoke to a legend that has their own podcast that Trent says they normally don't do it. And you were standing right there, Ryan.
Yeah.
And he said he would consider coming on our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let me just, Costa, obviously, you're kind of, you knew it. We all, folks, actually, you know what, I'm going to say that part. Costa, what's your thoughts about, what I said and everything? And then I want to get into.
Hey, man, I'm very thankful to be part of this network with you guys. To be honest, you are the 3 greatest people I've ever met in my life. I will say one thing. All those rumors that mentioned scamming people and stuff like that, I can tell you firsthand that it is 100% not true. Because I know myself, and I know that I would never be part of a network like that. Those rumors were made by people who wanted to see the downfall of the 4 of us, and they wanted to try to drag our name through the mud. But unfortunately, it's not going to work for them, and we're going to come out on top. So watch what we do from this point forward.
Uh-huh.
And Costa, just to piggyback off of what you just said about that, we have proof. That's all I got to say. We have proof.
Yeah. But, Carl, what were your thoughts about what I said? Mind you, folks, what I said, none of it was written down.
Sorry, I didn't answer your question. I wanted to just say I love you guys, and I appreciate that you have me part of this network. This is something that I've always wanted to do, and you guys are basically making my dream happen. So thank you for having me a part of this network. I appreciate it.
Costa, you're family to us.
I do want to mention, there is one person I want to mention by name. And this is not going to come as a shock.
Yeah.
And I actually thanked this guy earlier today. And that's Orlando. Morning host on 94 Through the Shark out here on Long Island.
Yep.
He's also the general manager of Full Faith Wrestling, which is a company that we work with. He had me come into the studio several months ago and really took me under his wing, and I started realizing a lot of the stuff. And Orlando, I know you said to me what you said earlier, but I'm saying this out right now. If you never had that conversation with me several months ago, I don't know if we were even sitting here tonight. But Carl, Ryan, do you guys have anything else to add to this before we get to the rest of the wrestling talk?
Well, I'm going to say this, John. Yes, you and I have been part of multiple podcasts for the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have always been doubted. But one problem. There's one friggin' problem. We adapted and overcome.
Yep.
Exactly what it is we adapted and overcome it, which is a military style move. You adapt and overcome.
Mm-hmm. And like I said before, ATR never dies.
Never.
Did we ever think we were?
We just multiply. We don't die.
I think Carl's computer froze.
Yeah. It's okay.
I think Carl's computer is too emotional as well. It froze.
I mean,
Ryan, what about you?
did we ever think we would start our own network? No. But you know what? We're here.
Yeah.
And here's the best part. The four of us collaborate together. We're not just one person that's got the biggest head in the world and saying, okay, everything goes through me. No, we all make this as a collective decision.
Exactly. And that's how it should be.
Talk about it.
Actually, Ryan, before I even get to you, we also have to send out a few other shout-outs to other members of the network.
Mm-hmm.
The man who is responsible for our logo. And I'm talking about the ATR logo, because that I did. I'm talking about the Around the Ropes logo. And folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, hold on 1 second. I'm talking about this. Oh, wrong, upside down.
You putz.
Was done by Brett Azar himself, friend of the show. Also want to send a shout out, thank you as well to Barry Horowitz, also a friend of the show.
Yep.
Also have to send a shout out to a Mr. Corey Dillinger.
Beefy.
Biffy.
Yep.
Folks, if you ever see a graphic come out with Ryan and Corey, that's going to be their names, the Beefy Boys. Just say.
That's not a bad idea.
But Corey has helped a lot behind the scenes.
Yep.
Brett Azar made our logo.
Yep.
Also want to send a shout out to Ravens Customs LLC. They made the tumblers that I happen to now have given to the people who got them. Kasi, you'll be getting yours soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm the slow one. I'll figure that out.
No.
Yeah.
You're not the slow one. The Postal Service is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Also, not to brag, we saved the best for last.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Speaking of shout-outs. Wait. Speaking of shout-outs, I have to do this. I'm sorry. I have to do this.
Go ahead.
So another part of the weekend was, because I couldn't be there, so another part of the weekend was this. So I want to thank you guys for helping me. I'm going to say this. Helping me show my support to an up-and-coming female wrestler that is going to be the best in the world very soon and is on the come-up. You can turn around. Yes, Miss Alicia Atut. I want to thank you for personally sending me this autograph, and you will always have my support. Again, you are the best up-and-coming female wrestler to come up in the industry. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys for making this happen. Thank you very much.
well, there is one other shout out I want to give out.
Go ahead.
He's actually on the screen right now. That's Ryan.
Oh, me.
Yeah, yeah. We brought you in. You were actually an original guest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks to this guy right there.
Yes. And then we brought you on for a YouTube exclusive, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's been a ride ever since.
And look what's happened. And look what's happened since you brought me on.
You didn't cost us $1.50.
Nope. But
Yeah.
viewerships went up on live streams, especially with Hell in a Cell. Just saying.
Yes.
Let's just say we trimmed some. We definitely trimmed some Swiss fat. So Swiss fat and some Houston trash.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh,
Just watch the logo, people.
And we started our own network, the ATR network. And look what's happened since we started our own network. We had our first outing at a convention. We had a massive networking event. We have future guests coming in. Some of them who never really do interviews, and some of them who have their own podcasts, and they flat out said, we're considered doing it.
Go ahead.
Hold on. We are actually on the network, are going to have a YouTube exclusive talking about something that is very toxic in this world, okay?
Yep.
That we were told by people, don't talk about it. Fuck you, we're talking about it. And that's domestic violence, because a good friend of ours, and I hope she's listening and watching this, she is a survivor of it. Not only that, she's also a survivor of suicide. She attempted suicide because of this. This is a pandemic. Screw COVID-19. This shit, domestic violence, is the worst thing in the world right now.
It's sickening.
And it can happen to anyone, male or female. And this young lady is going to come on here and do a YouTube exclusive with us.
With her permission, just the point.
We got her permission to do it. She said yes, because she's an advocate for this.
I just want to get to some. We'll get back into this in a second, but I just came across a tweet here that is blowing my mind. Okay, now as many people know, Ryan is in the industry, works for several promotions. This was just tweeted out by a guy named Mike McGuire. Okay, that there's information coming in that there was a wrestler who allegedly no-showed a Canadian indie show, cashed in the promoter's flight credits to get to Orlando to work the AEW taping.
Oh.
Yeah, and I know who it is, too.
Wait, did you say Canadian show, or what was the beginning you said? Canadian show?
So, from what John was saying, this individual was booked on a Canadian independent wrestling event.
Okay.
And he no-showed the event, but he cashed in the points from the flight and used it to go down to Orlando for AEW Dark.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
I am not going to say who it is.
Yeah.
Ryan, do I know this guy?
Y'all have heard of him, but I'm not going to say it on camera because
Okay.
I'll say it off camera.
Okay.
But
Wait, real quick. Wait, I do know him?
not personally, but all three of you know of him.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But now getting back to the wrestling, there was something else that just happened on NXT.
Okay.
And since 1 week from Sunday at 4 p.m., by the way, it's NXT Worlds Collide. There was a massive, massive women's match that just got announced. What, Carl?
After that one, I got one even better that's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay.
See, John, at least he lets me tell my story.
John.
Shut up, John. Get your own damn Wi-Fi. At NXT Worlds Collide, a triple threat women's match.
Yep.
As Blair Davenport takes on Mandy Rose and Mako Satomura for both the NXT Women's and the NXT UK Women's Championship in a unification triple threat title match.
Ooh, wow. That's going to be
all. Because Mako Satomura appeared on NXT, shockingly.
Yeah. Wow. That's
okay. Now, Carl, you're
in 2 weeks on NXT. You have Braun Breaker versus the UK title.
Hold it.
Title versus title.
Yep.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bring him back a little bit more. There's something else.
Mm-hmm.
October 18th. You're going to see a return of one time only this year. AEW and NXT head-to-head.
Really?
Due to the fact of Major League Baseball, the World Series.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That is going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting.
And not to say on the air, but Carl, you're going to be shocked at what I have that has nothing to do. These two don't know about it, but Carl, you'll definitely know about it. Holy shit. Anyway. So, speaking of AEW,
yeah,
they have some interesting stuff coming up, don't they?
It's gonna be a crazy few weeks.
Let's talk about tomorrow. What, John?
Finish your story. I'll shut up.
Yeah.
No, because I just got notification of a match happening at an independent show that is for the Impact Wrestling World Championship, and it's going to.
I saw that. John, go ahead.
Happening at AAW Pro. That's in Cleveland, I think. Chicago. Close enough. Josh Alexander will put up his face.
2 different states.
No, because I only said Chicago because the name of the show is Destination Chicago. We'll be putting up his Impact. We'll be putting up his Impact Wrestling World Championship against one Masha Slamovich.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
This is the second time in recent memory that you are having an intergender match for the biggest title in Impact's history. The first one happened a couple of years ago when Sami Callihan took on a Tessa Blanchard.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
So
Carl.
something just happened on NXT. Dexter Loomis was at NXT, handed Indy Hartwell a note, and was arrested again. As he basically backed out of the building, let the doors close, and the cops arrested him.
So I guess we
Said
know.
note. Hold on. I'll read you what the said note said.
Okay.
Goodbye, Indy. In quotes, for now, I love you forever.
Uh-oh.
Interesting storyline.
Very. So, let's get back to NXT because, not NXT, AEW, because something happened last week.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, actually, 2 amazing things happened last week. We had that outstanding 2 out of 3 falls match between Bryan Danielson and Daniel Garcia.
Yep.
Which also, by the way, could we possibly see Daniel Garcia leaving the JAS?
I hope so. I hope
Very
so.
possible.
And also, I think somebody returned last week after 9 months. The cleaner, Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
As the OG Elite took on La Facción Ingobernables in the first round of the trios tag tournament, which, spoiler alert, they won.
And they put on a hell of a show, by the way.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
That spot where Omega, sorry, that spot where Omega was sitting on the barricade and he got flipped on. That was amazing.
yes, Carl.
This has nothing to do with
AEW.
AEW or NXT, but Bully Ray made a comment over the weekend. And I think it might have struck a nerve with some people. And Mr. Ryan, you know this company very well. It's a Jersey company.
Oh shit.
Oh
That
boy.
he made this statement about. Companies like GCW have no backbone because they stay away from the guys they know that truly can expose them, is what he said.
Oh
boy.
So Bully was talking about GCW. Matt Cardona got hurt and he couldn't perform on a pay-per-view that was named after him. Personally, I think Cardona is ducking me because he talks a lot of shit on social media about how he's this hardcore guy just because he wrestles in garbage bag GCW, which is one of the worst ECW ripoffs I've ever seen in my life. And all of a sudden, he's this hardcore guy.
Huh.
You've never seen Cardona in a ring with a true hardcore guy, a true extreme guy, master of the art of extreme. Who have you seen it with? Nick Cage? Oh my God, please. You have CZW garbage bag wrestlers. You have the GCW garbage bag wrestlers, all trying to ride the coattails or capture some of the glory of what ECW created back in the day. Your company will never be ECW. Your wrestlers will never be ECW wrestlers. Please stop. Do something different. Here's the thing. These companies like GCW have no backbone because they stay away from the guys that they know could truly expose them. Nick Cage had the balls to show up at StarCast with all the GCW guys. Mind you, I eliminated every single one. Yeah. Mance Warden got the best of me at the end of the day. Good job, Mance. But I eliminated every GCW guy. You saw Nick Cage come to the Battle Royal. Did you see Nick Cage getting the Battle Royal with me? Why not? Because he's a pussy. If Nick Cage truly wanted a piece of me, he would have been in the ring. If GCW actually had a set of balls, they would put Nick Cage in the ring with me. It won't happen. You know why? I'll expose them. I'll expose him for the frauds they really are.
Oh wow. Wow.
I'm going to say this. You don't want to fuck around with Bully Ray and any of those ECW legends because they were hardcore shit. This backyard shit that we see, nothing compared to them.
Yeah. Wow. Those are interesting comments. Those are very interesting comments to say.
Yeah, but again,
he's got the right to say it. He's an original ECW.
Oh, yeah.
Because you know what? There was no script. It's like, all right, go out, do what you want to do.
If I remember correctly, I heard a lot of times when they would go over like the match order, Paul Heyman would write on a napkin.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I heard that too. Yeah.
But there is one thing I do want to get to though before we wrap up for tonight. Going back to AEW for a second,
Okay.
and that was the promo between Punk and Moxley,
Yep.
in which Punk called out Hangman. And I'm going to say something that's going to get me chastised. What Punk said to Hangman, I think was completely ridiculous. You should not let somebody who comes into a company bash one of your homegrown talents and not even let the homegrown talent be there to defend himself. Because technically, Heyman had nothing to do with that whole Moxley Punk thing. What Punk was saying was from their feud that happened months prior. To me, when he said that, I didn't think that was in the right moment. But also, I mean, we've all seen the stuff that Punk threatened to quit and all that stuff. Yes, Carl?
John, that promo that was cut by Mr. John Moxley calling out CM Punk, okay? From what I've heard, that was not a script. That actually came from his heart. He felt that way about Punk in WWE. I'm sorry, you leave the industry for 7 years, you come back. Great, I'm all happy for that. What gives you a fucking chance to come out for the title? Whose ass did you kiss to come out for that title?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You overtook guys that deserves better. And you know who's standing up to him? John Moxley. And I give Moxley credit for it.
I don't disagree with you. Remember back to conversations we had on this program months ago. I sort of made the same comment. Or I said, you're going to eventually run into an issue where you keep bringing in every Timbuktu and Harry from WWE, and you can give them title opportunities left and right. But you have guys who are in AEW Dark right now, and AEW Dark Elevation, who should be on the goddamn main roster,
Yeah.
who aren't getting anything. I mean,
It's almost as bad as the WWE bringing in Goldberg every fucking time. Oh, or somebody's injured. All right, let's bring in Goldberg.
But what I don't understand is, and I said this, the fact that Hangman is the first, well, technically he's not even the first of the foundation, whatever you want to call it. Because if you want to be tactical, you talk about the pillars of AEW. You got Darby, Sammy, MJF, and
Britt Baker.
Britt Baker. Of the three men I've mentioned, the biggest title any of them have held is the TNT title. And I know that the argument's been, well, you have to establish that title. You have to establish that title. Okay, all well and good. But eventually, Tony Khan has to pull the trigger. And I'll just say this right now. Hangman's run, I don't blame Hangman for it. I blame the way he was booked.
I got one better for you. There's one performer right now that's a title holder that I don't blame them. I blame creative on it.
Thunder.
Bingo. Thunder Rosa. I don't blame her. I blame... Now, there is one that I will say, and people could chastise me for all they want. There is one title holder that I think does not deserve to have that title. And they didn't deserve to get it from the beginning.
Which one?
I got a guess.
Go ahead.
Samoa Joe with the ROH television
Wrong.
title.
Nope.
considering he hasn't been on TV in months.
Nope. Not
Is it
even Samoa
AEW?
Joe. AEW.
Jade.
Thank you.
I completely agree. I still think they put the belt on her way too early.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been
Drop
chatting
the belt to somebody that can work her.
Athena.
She needs to work up to somebody's level.
I would
Everybody
go-
else was backing off to her level. She needs to be able to work up to their level.
Ryan, I got a better one for you.
Hold on, John. Hold on.
Okay.
You got Ty Conti, okay? Better performer. You know why? She's got a different style background. Anna Jay. Now you got Athena in the mix, which they're going for the title, I believe. Fine. Put her back on Britt Baker if they needed to. Give her the belt instead of going after Thunder Rosa's belt. Okay? Anybody that has a background right now should have that belt, and Jade chasing that belt.
I'll do you one better of who I think it should have been. And I've said this for a while. Carl, I agree. I get what you're saying. But I have one name who I think would have been perfect for Jade to have worked with. Serena Deeb.
No.
I have one better.
Who?
I think I know who Ryan's going with.
And this one was actually, from what I've been reading, the original story. But as they say, car something to change.
Yep.
Chris Statlander.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that one.
Supposedly, from what reports are saying, she was supposed to be the one to dethrone Jade and win the TBS title, but unfortunately she tore her ACL again. Her other ACL.
Actually, you know who would be perfect to have the TNT title? Or the TBS title, whatever it's called?
The TBS title?
TBS title.
John?
Besides him. It would be funny, but there's somebody else that should get it. That deserves it. Ryan, we spoke to her on Saturday.
You think it's Sunny?
No. Bigger.
I'm just rolling through my mind again who we spoke to. Bear with me.
I'm trying to scroll through my head who was there. It's a big head, so.
Hello, Mr. Gold. And again, thank you for Saturday. It was a blast.
Oh, is that the David?
Yes.
David, just want to point out, sorry I cornered you at the end of it. I'm sorry, dude. But I hope you understood where I came from. That's all I gotta say, man.
Okay, but who's the woman now? I'm confused.
Trying to think.
Nyla.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Nyla Rose. Why aren't they pushing her like they were? She started to have the push, and all of a sudden they pulled the brakes on it, just like the WWE does to people.
Well, I feel like with Nyla, they're giving her the stop and go treatment.
Yeah.
They need to stop that shit.
Well, now they have her in a
If you're
tag
gonna
team.
push the people, push them.
Carl, now they have her in a tag team.
So what? You could be
With
a
somebody
tag team
that
and have an individual title too.
With somebody that I know very well.
Hmm?
Yeah. Again, folks, we're still waiting for the video. And you'll see that what happened. But moving on.
And by the way, said individual is confirmed, signed.
When?
I heard through the grapevine this past weekend.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But anybody, okay. What about and I think she had a fantastic role with the AEW women's title. Unfortunately, it was during the pandemic. What about
Hikaru
Sheeta?
Shida.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would love to see Shida back on the title run again.
I feel like with Sheeta, it was like, okay, we have no other woman to put in there. Britt's not ready yet. Let's just throw Hikaru Shida in there. And then it's almost like if you look at WWE, how many times you've seen people get the title. Okay, here's a great example. Kofi Kingston held the WWE Championship for what? 6 months?
Yeah.
Lost it on the premiere episode of SmackDown when they went to Fox to Brock Lesnar in 15 seconds?
8.
But he hasn't touched the title since.
I know.
I don't understand why they can't do that. Why they can't allow Sheeta? Yes.
No. Mr. Peterson. No.
But she's not.
Correct.
Oh, no. No. I'm confusing her with somebody else that was also there. That did give me confirmation. Okay.
Yes, folks.
That'll be off camera. That'll be off camera.
Okay.
Folks, on this show, we talk in Morse code.
Yes.
Even though I'm confused right now.
But getting back to AEW, they got a stacked lineup for tomorrow night. I have the card right here in front of me.
Let's go into that, and then we'll wrap up.
So you have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on Kylan King, which she's getting kind of a push herself a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You also have father versus son as Billy Gunn takes on Colton Gunn.
That's an interesting one, though.
Very. You also have the final first-round matchup of the AEW World Trios title tournament as Death Triangle take on United Empire, which is Aussie Open and Will Ospreay.
Uh-huh.
Which that one's going to... just thinking about it already. Also, you have... I think this might actually be one of the best matches of the night. How about Dax Harwood versus Jay Lethal? And then, folks, Le Coup de Gras, the biggest match that I think it's... You can chastise me if you want. I think one of the biggest matches that's been featured on AEW television in a long time. A AEW World Title Unification match between CM Punk and Jon Moxley.
Right, I think it's the biggest match they have in their history.
I'm gonna unmute myself for this. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yo, so that match, like, I know we're saying that AEW like messes up surprises and or uses surprises and stuff like that, but this match I'm actually like really looking forward to, because it's gonna be incredible, man. It's gonna be incredible.
Oh,
And AEW, what I'm trying to say is AEW is treating this in the way that it should be treated, and you don't expect this kind of match on a weekly show.
Right.
no. Oh,
Hold on.
there was one other match, but it's happening on Rampage later on that night. How about Claudio Castagnoli versus Dustin Rhodes for the Ring of Honor World Title?
Yes. But
That's it for that.
who do you think is going to win between Punk and Moxley?
If done correctly, the fans.
Yeah, that's true. If I again, it's give or take. So if I were to choose, I would say this match it would be Moxley. I think.
Here's my opinion about the whole thing. As someone who's involved in this, you have 4 of the matches in the card. The world title always gets an hour time limit. So unless somehow the other matches go in 10 minutes, and the other hour goes to the world title, I don't think it's gonna go. I don't think it's gonna go the full hour. I feel like it's gonna be a screwy finish.
I'll answer that question in a second, but I think we may have gotten a hint at who the next returnee may be.
For
NXT.
No.
For who?
Who?
Patrick Clark
Oh.
Jr.
Oh God.
Next.
hosted for the first time in 18 months with the thing of he's got a story to tell. So, you know who Patrick Clark is? Patrick Clark is the guy formerly known in the WWE world as the Velveteen Dream.
Oh shit! I didn't even know his real. Oh shit! I didn't even know his real name.
Where is he going?
Huh?
Where is he landing?
People are saying that they think he may be one of the next ones to come back to NXT.
Oh shit!
If that happens, then no.
I can't see them doing it.
If that happens, then I'm sorry to say, then that will ruin Triple H's credibility.
Uh-huh. But to answer the question on who I think wins, I think we get a Fugazi end, and that's how they set up for the main event at All Out. Because to me, you're not going to be, and I may pick on Tony Khan a lot on the show, but the one thing I will always give the guy credit for is he is smart. You can't be stupid and book a match of this magnitude and have it be on free TV and not have some sort of payoff at your biggest show of the year. Especially, and we're forgetting this part, who from that match is from the place where All Out's going to be?
CM Punk.
Oh, that's easily Nyla Rose. I'm just kidding.
But my point is this. They're going to do some sort of wonky ending, and that's how we're going to get the main event at.
I just thought of something else. What if one of the pillars that we were talking about before returns?
That is true. They haven't.
Oh my God! I think I just figured it out.
I think I know who. Okay.
Oh my God!
Okay. Hold on. How about if this certain pillar comes back and they somehow make it into a triple threat?
Yes.
No. I got one even better. I have one even
That
better.
pillar is back.
Oh,
What?
shit. Go ahead.
The original holder of that belt is back.
No. Let's say they go this route. Let's say Punk turns heel.
We've seen it before.
We have.
But the pillar turns face.
Uh,
And they make this pillar the biggest baby face in the company.
Maybe like a Stone Cold face.
Uh-huh.
oh yeah, that could work.
That it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But guys, I think it's safe to say because we also have...
Hold on, John. Hold on.
Okay.
You haven't heard mine.
Okay.
Turns out to be a no disqualification match because Kenny Omega interferes. Setting up a triple threat match in Chicago where the winner, the title holder, does not have to be pinned.
But how does that work if he's in the trios tournament?
Exactly. He's already in the trios tournament, yeah?
They can do double bows.
No.
No.
I don't do that.
Because then it's going back to not pushing, the right people. Where you're pretty much pulling like somewhat Goldberg on him. You're pulling
Hear me out. You're not, because of one reason. You could turn around and have anybody that was original shot at that title. And come out and say, I want my shot. You can make it a fatal 4-way, fatal 5-way for that title that night.
just don't have Omega in it. Oh wait, even better. make it a 4-way with Punk, Moxley, the person that Punk beat, and the other pillar.
Yes. Yes.
Gee, and who's that other person that he beat?
Hangman Adam Page.
Okay. I can make it a 5-way real quick without having Omega in there.
Really?
Throw in Jericho.
Huh.
But as the Lionheart.
Huh.
Not Chris Jericho, but Jericho as the Lionheart.
Nah. I feel like with the way things are going with that, I think there's gonna be another Kingston Jericho match coming up at All Out.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, possibly.
In a Chicago street fight.
Yeah.
Haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Which ironically, the last Chicago street fight I saw had Jericho in it 10 years ago.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, so I know we were all hyped about Gargano coming back, but if Wednesday works out how I think it's gonna work out, we might have another exciting return.
And then don't forget, when we go live next Tuesday, we are in for a major week of wrestling.
Yep. Everything's on.
We'll get into that next Tuesday.
Yeah.
2 weeks
And
further.
you're also forgetting the other part, Carl. When we're back on next Tuesday, we'll have stories from a certain Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were going to get into that one, Mr. Blaine.
Okay.
Since you brought it up, dumbass. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Guys, obviously, we've been doing a lot of networking and talking with people, but this coming weekend, shut up, Ryan.
Okay.
Anything.
You didn't say it.
Myself and Mr. Clean himself, Mr. Carl,
Yeah.
will be heading up to Albany, New York for the opening of the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, which will have such guys there as Booker T. These are people who are in the meet and greet. Dory Funk Jr., the $1 Million Man, because everybody has a price to pay, Ted DiBiase, Cody Holby, the son of the late great Scott Hall, and many other superstars. We are also proud sponsors of the Hall of Fame for this year's ceremony, so that's a major honor for us. And then we have other stuff planned for the upcoming months, which we will get to them as soon as they become official and that we are allowed to mention them. But Carl, since this was your first show back, and then I'll go Costa, and then we'll go that route.
Well, technically my first show back.
Shut up. Keep kayfabe.
No. I'm not saying anything else. I'm just saying officially back.
Yep.
Yes.
Because I've been watching it
Okay.
off my phone.
Your first show back on camera.
Yep.
Is that the better way to put it?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
Final thoughts, and where can people find you on social media?
So my final thoughts is we did one hell of a show. And this is where you can find me. Right here on Twitter. Right there. Yeah, right here. Okay? You can find me right here on Twitter at CarlRob8TR. But guys, what I like the most about this network, this podcast, is it's us. And we're not going to let this shit get to our heads because
Yeah,
out of
John.
Go ahead.
We don't have the fun.
I can't say anything to Costa because you know what? Costa's been good. But you, Blaine, and you, Ryan, I will smack the shit out of both of you two. And Ryan already knows I will.
Ryan, breaking news. We don't have enough funding. It costs more than $1.50.
Just for that, wise ass, you go next.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What to do? Again, folks, you can find me on Twitter right there. You see? Right there. Very simple. Again, as the shirt says, CCW, they are our new partners for this network. So definitely stay tuned to our socials for all the upcoming events we have with them. Again, folks, you're not going to want to miss that. Final thoughts from me. I thought tonight's show was fantastic. It's great to have the whole band back together. And I thought my announcement was interesting. But again, folks, like I said in my spiel, I appreciate everybody. Costa, what was yours?
Yeah. Guys, again, I want to, not to reiterate, but I will reiterate. I want to thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts on the show. I just want to tell you that I love you guys and I appreciate the chance to talk wrestling with you all on a weekly basis, or even on an everyday basis, let's say, on an everyday basis. And once again, I want to shout out Miss Alicia Atut for sending me or providing me with that autograph, and thank you to this whole network for making that happen. I guarantee you that Alicia will be the top star very, very soon. So keep your eyes locked on her progress. And another thing I want to mention is AEW Toronto tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. They are coming to Toronto, Canada for 2 shows, AEW Dynamite and the taping of AEW Rampage. So if you guys see me out there and you decide to come out to Toronto, please come by and say hi, because I will be there. All right? Thank you.
Costa, where can they find you on Twitter?
My Twitter, I switched it back to my longer name because of turbulence. I didn't know I was going through some personal problems. So you can follow me on Twitter at Costa Pacneris. All one word. KOSTAPACHNERS. It will be switched back to Costa ATR very soon. All right? Thank you.
Mr. Peterson, your turn.
First of all, I can make a really bad joke right now on that, Costa. I do apologize for saying this. Again, you can follow him at KOLDKN. Make sure to add all 26 letters of the alphabet for his last name.
Yeah.
No, but all seriousness, you can follow me on Twitter. Right down below it says at Ryan_MC. Show again was great, especially with that huge announcement of welcoming the ATR network to Colossal Championship Wrestling as well as New Evolution Wrestling. Yep. And if things work out well, there might be some, let's just say that the ATR may be conquering another promotion very soon. Again, tonight was a great show all around. And, you know, definitely I love you guys. Not only the 3 of you, but also the fans that tune in, the fans that know us, the fans that watch us. And for those that, you know, really don't see what our vision is or just hate on us, well, I'm going to be blunt right now. Screw you. Screw you, because it's nothing but pure jealousy that you're not at the level that we are. And you're just taking that anger on us to make yourselves feel good. But guess what? Every time you keep doing that, you're digging yourselves into a deeper hole. Even deeper than 6 feet. Yep. So deep that even Hades is laughing at you. I'm going into promo mode right now. But anyway, here at the ATR Network, we say screw the haters because we are legit wrestling fans, and also cost more than $1.50. And yeah, that's basically all you got to say at this time.
Thanks, Ryan.
Guys, you guys have all heard it from us. We appreciate everybody who's on the ride. If you're not on the ride, sucks to be you. If you want to be on the ride, we always have room. We have to shift some people around to make some room.
Yeah, including you.
But guys, for Ryan, for Costa, and for Carl, I'm John. This has been another installment of the Around the Ropes podcast, right here on the EPR Network. And we'll see you guys next time. But until then, I had something to say and I forgot. We'll see you next time.
Until then, keep your eyes on our social media because we got major announcements coming out. Catch you later.
It's only the beginning, folks.
Yep.